Yes.
I'm looking forward to that song.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
It's your favorite song.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
You are singing all the alto, the
because it's
tenor,
a collabo.
the soprano. Ulikuwa unazieka zote. Wow. I mean, there's a gift. You
had to expose that.
That needs to be nurtured.
Oh, you had to expose that. With such friends. Do you even need enemies?
No, you don't. We are two in one. You don't need to bother.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's come to the Father, and I think it relates perfectly with our devotion of the day today, just reminding us that, hey, manze, if there's a place you can draw true love from, and if there's someone you can choose to be obsessed over and be okay, it's God. You know, you're like just thinking of their love for you, meditating upon that love for you, letting that love fuel and just pump you up each and every single day. That's what you need. And I believe that is what we all need. And I see the time here is 35 minutes past 7. Time for us to now pave way for the newspaper review. This is right.
We start with the Standard.
Yes.
And they go with the headline, The Untouchables. And there are two men here. So they say The Untouchables, fraud. Aden Duale has built a career thriving on controversy. And he's now presiding over a ministry mired in ghost hospitals and fraudulent payouts. The Social Health Authority chairman, Abdi Mohammed, is equally at the center of a multi-billion shilling scam with MPs linking him to phantom facilities and shady payments. Together, the two epitomize a culture of impunity where public outrage never translates into accountability. Even as lawmakers demand their resignations, the duo stand insulated by proximity to power, unshaken and unrepentant. It's a story that you can read on pages 4 and 5. And yes, we have the photo of those two gentlemen, the CS Health, that is Aden Duale, and the Social Health Authority chairman, Abdi Mohammed. And the Kitutu Churches South MP, a quote attributed to Anthony Kibagendi, who is the Kitutu Churches South MP. We now demand the resignation of CS Aden Duale and the chairman of SHA. We also want a commission of inquiry into SHA within 48 hours. If this is not done, we will call on all Kenyans to act. This level of impunity and theft cannot go unchallenged. It's a story that you can get on the front page, and then it is covered on pages 4 and 5 inside the Standard. Still on the front page of the Standard, drama as police block or robber. Actually, there was tension there as a former nominated senator's efforts to gain access to the Senate to present her reinstatement papers following a court ruling hit a dead end after a confrontation with the police who dragged her away. And there was a photo there of the CA, or rather the former nominated senator being dragged away from the gate of the Senate, where she had actually closed the gate with her vehicle, demanding that she be reinstated. So you can read that story. It's on page 15. And of course, Trust Kenyans, especially those on X, they were showing her no mercy. They remembered her ills when she was in that same house. Remember at the height of the Gen Z protests, she was the one who had actually called for the banning of social media, and specifically X. But now they were saying she had called for the banning of the same, but now she's using the same platform to voice her grievances. And so they were saying, you need to be very careful when you're wielding power. You know, whatever you say, however you act, be very careful.
It will come back.
Yeah. And actually, I agree, because it's been said also, when you're in authority, do not pass laws or do anything because you are in that position for such a time as that. Think when you're acting, think of the day your worst of enemies will become the leader. And they use now whatever you pass.
That very thing.
The very thing. Will you be safe?
Where you don't wield power carelessly.
Carelessly.
You do it thoughtfully.
Exactly. For the betterment of the nation.
That's true.
All right. Then I see here Mutai impeachment. Remember the CS Kericho was before the Senate yesterday. Ex-CEC sent millions to governor only to be sacked via social media. Those are some of the revelations. And Katiba Day, Ruto admits corruption still major challenge 15 years after constitution, and mixed bag for women under 2010 constitution hailed as liberal. Senate remains weak 15 years after constitution, says Otiende Amolo. So you can read that story as well. As Kenya marked 15 years of the Supreme Law amid gender parity challenge. Some news here, Kahariri, Duale sued afresh over KDF deployment. They were sued afresh over the deployment of the military to quell street protests. And then Baz as Chan Trophy lands at Standard Group. It was here. It was there yesterday as well. And just a reminder, the final will be on this coming Sunday at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, as Madagascar will be taking on the Atlas Lions of Morocco. And so we wait and see who will be crowned the Chan champions for this year.
Yeah.
The pullout, real estate investors lose out as Banda Homes faces liquidation. This is such a sad story. Can you imagine you have invested a lot of money, maybe some even took loans for them, to fulfill their dream of home ownership, and then the company that you trusted, all of a sudden, they don't make that dream a reality, but it becomes now sort of hell on earth because you are now left without a home, but maybe servicing a loan or maybe reeling from years of savings just lost, just like that.
Sad.
Sad story that you can read on the real estate pullout, which is on page 35, and smart cities lessons from Johannesburg. Read that. And where construction technologies fail developers, and that is what is covered on the real estate pullout.
Okay, and coming down to the Daily Nation this morning, the top story here is a new bid to amend the constitution. Of course, yesterday being Katiba Day, a lot of conversations came up.
Right.
And I see here debate focuses on number of counties and new executive posts. So that is the power games that are there in that story. On the 15th anniversary of the constitution, politicians revived the campaign to amend the charter, rekindling previous failed attempts, including one fronted by the former government that was stopped by the Supreme Court. So this is a story covered on page 10 of the Daily Nation with regards to Katiba Day yesterday. And more stories I see here. Teachers' medical cover concerns as deal nears expiry. This is also covered on the Daily Nation, featured on the top page. More stories I see inside 1 billion shillings budget to woo US ahead of polls. A story covered on the Daily Nation as well. I also see on the corruption here segment, Ruto warns Shah looters will be forced to refund stolen cash and face jail term. I think we did touch on this yesterday about the billions of shillings that cannot be accounted for going to an unknown hospital or a hospital that did not deserve all those millions and millions of money that were wired to them. So that is on the same President Ruto addressing it. But I also see an interesting story here. There's a third petition filed to stop construction of church at State House. We know the billion the billion shilling church that Ruto said there was a very downtrodden church there, and he felt it is good to build a temple for the Lord. Reminds me of the days of King David and King Solomon. But God said, I do not dwell in temples built by human hands. So pouring money there in the name of I'm building it for God, of course, raising a lot of concerns. A third petition has been filed in court challenging the construction of a Church at State House, Nairobi, amid increased push for judicial intervention with an order to halt the project. So 4 civil society groups have petitioned the High Court to stop President William Ruto from continuing with the project on grounds that it violates the principle of state neutrality in religious matters as set out in Article 8 of the Constitution. Because now building a church there, so what if a president comes in and he's Muslim or of a different religion?
Different faith, yes. So are they now going to build
indoctrinate their
own,
mosque or their own whatever? So definitely
there should be a separation.
There should be a separation of state and that. So Transparency International Kenya, Kenya Human Rights Commission, Inuka Kenya, NICC and Institute of Social Accountability also want the president or his officers, agents and any public official barred from funding or facilitating the contested construction. So definitely, that is like making the State House your home. Like, let me make it comfortable for me. And of course, elections are just a year away. But anyway, lastly, I see tension as Isiolo County offices torched, assembly ransacked. So this is quite a heavy story here in the in the county of Isiolo, and that is also covered on the Daily Nation this morning. And by the way, I see Boniface Mwangi declares 2027 presidential bid, pledges third liberation. So Boniface Mwangi, of course, on the same. And there's a story yesterday would love to clarify about Sakaja, the MCAs trying to impeach. It actually was Sakaja.
The governor.
The governor himself, not the deputy.
Okay.
It was the governor himself just doing research yesterday. Actually, it's my husband who pointed it out. And, of course, they were saying that so many things have not been done during the city hall. Things are not working as they should.
His slogan is Lazima Iwak.
And Haiwak. So that's why they want to
according to the MCAs, Haiwak.
Kuna vitu mingi zenye manzejo, we've been crying and nothing is happening. So they are like, we are going to impeach this one.
Well, all right.
Yes.
The Business Daily, how Kenya pipeline auction will fuel 500 billion shillings NSC gains. CMA tips bows to breach 3 trillion shillings mark on IPO. Treasury 600 billion shillings from stake or from sale of stake in KPC. And then KRA removes manual tax filing for salaried workers. Salaried workers have now been spared by the KRA from having to file annual tax returns manually following the integration of its internal systems, easing the compliance headache. Now, salaried workers will now be required to key in their national identification number into the taxman's system, which will automatically fill the annual income data required when filing for annual returns, including the gross pay and taxes. The new filing model will apply to workers whose sole source of income is employment and those with tax-free income of below 24,000 shillings monthly who file nil returns. So you've been spared. So all you need now moving forward is you just go into the e-Citizen. Weka tu kitambulisho chako. It will automatically file for you.
Wow.
Because there are cadres, different cadres for the salaried people. So based on your salary, it will just pick the relevant details. So
which is good. Reduces
no, for me
eases the process.
No, it reduces for me. For me, it reduces the stress. Umenikata pesa, then unaniambia chukua hii form, jaza that nilikukata hii pesa. Unadhani ni mchezo?
Makes no sense.
Unadhani ni rahisi? Umekatwa ya housing, umekatwa SHA.
Alafu unaonyeshwa.
Alafu unaambiwa confirm that tulikata hii. So for me, just not knowing whatever amount they took.
It gives you peace. Because now you realize people are spending so much money paying the cyber people,
unfortunately, those are the people now who will during that period of filing returns, because it was good business for them filing returns
for people. So now it makes our work easy. Which for me, I feel it's a good thing, because all those details are unnecessary.
True. Now you've used the right term. Unnecessary.
They're unnecessary.
You have taken the money already.
Why am I having to
confirm?
Go through it again. Go through now the emotional torture.
And worst thing, if you fail to do so, penalized.
Jamani, serikali yetu, Mungu tu ndio anatusaidia. It is well.
So that is what is being reported in the business day.
Okay, and now we've come to the end of the newspaper review. Grab a copy of your favorite, and of course you can tune into Hope FM at the top of every hour. We do have news updates, and of course right here on Hope TV, Dira, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. we have News Watch, so you are well sorted when it comes to any news that may be of interest to you. So now let's pave way for the video of the day.